Hello viewers, Dr. Subhagata here. I hope you're enjoying my videos. Thank you very much for commenting, for liking and sharing and subscribing those. This video is all about to introspect into the learning curve that we have achieved as a nation since the last pandemic. We all know that Spanish flu hit the world in the year 1918 and continued for 2 years. These 2 years, it massacred the life, at the same time, the socio-economic infrastructure across the world. Now we are facing the similar situation since December 2019, and still the situation is continuing to be very, very grave. The COVID-19. Now the question is, as a species that has neocortex, the biological app for analysis based on the principal logic, how far we learning about the pandemic situations, the consequences, the progress of pandemic, and of course how to survive a pandemic. Together I call it as preparedness. Now if you see, since 100 years the educational curve has gone very up through setting up schools, universities, institutions, research labs, whatnot. Almost 70% of the population of any nation, barring few nations, I don't know the exact statistics, but I can guess that 70% goes to school. I may be wrong. If I am wrong, you can correct me. But this is what is my guess. 30% to 35% goes to the colleges and 15% to 20% goes to universities. Again, I am saying these are my assumptions. May not be fact. Maybe some numeric values here and there. The question here is the preparedness is not based on the level of education, what we can see now. It is based on the learning. Now my first question here in this video, is learning and education are synonymous, or there is a difference between being educated and between being learned, a learner or a wise person? What we are seeing in COVID-19, irrespective of the status of a country being called developed or developing or underdeveloped, everybody is suffering. And the more suffering we are seeing to the developed world, right? The data is available everywhere. This I am not presuming. This is the reality that we all are seeing. So a developed nation spends a lot of money on education and health. Less money is being spent by developing and least by the underdeveloped nations. But the people spend money, right? The nations spend money. Now, if a nation is full of educated people, then COVID-19 should not progress in such a bad manner, in a very deadly manner, infecting thousands every day, killing thousands every day. It should not have happened. But this is happening. Why? Because your learning is a big zero. Nobody learned from the retrospective earlier phenomena. Now I am coming to learning. Learning essentially are four types. Number one is supervised, that somebody who is a mentor, a teacher, supervises you and you learn. So, what exactly you learn? You learn his knowledge, his way of thinking, his way of concepts, right? So, I don't think it's a very good learning. If he is wrong, you are wrong. So, little higher is the semi supervised learning, where you learn from the mentor or the teacher in an assisted way. Like current rule is like 80-20. So 80% is a self-directed learning, that is you are learning by yourself, and 20% from the teacher or the mentor. So what the teacher does, he or she encourages you and giving the showing the paths, but you have to walk and traverse. The third one is unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is it there, that means there is no mentor, there is no teacher. You learn based on your this app. This is prefrontal cortex that nobody has, but we have. Some primates they have. uh, Dolphins, some research shows that they have prefrontal, they analyze. So that makes us superior compared to the other animals in the animal kingdom. So in the unsupervised, we use our principal logic and whatever we gather from the environment. It's also called as environmental learning. And you accrue all those things, you populate here, analyze, infer, and conclude. And then you propagate that or implement that in your behavior. Right? The fourth learning is a very basic, the zero level learning is called reinforcement learning. That means you learn based on the principle of reward and punishment. Given a task, if you are unable to comply or finish it, you will be punished. Otherwise, you are rewarded. This is the learning that we see when lions, tigers, dogs, when these animals are being trained uh, by us. So if I rearrange it, I arrange from reinforcement and then the supervised, completely supervised, then semi-supervised, and then unsupervised, right? Now, what we have seen in COVID-19, all these learnings, I give you an example to you. Coming to the very base level, reinforcement learning, reward and punishment. We have seen a lot of viral videos that law enforcing agents and police, they are beating people who are roaming around without mask, without any purpose, uh, within this particular period, and they are beaten back to home. This is reinforcement learning. Supervised learning is what? Like watching the WHO regulations, government regulations, in India, ICMR regulations, regulations laid by the local authorities, and you are behaving in this way that whatever they are saying, I will follow it. This is little adulterated because some agencies or some bodies, they claim that certain things work for COVID-19. uh, I don't want to go into that debate, but you all know that, some urine stuff and blah blah. So if you are a supervised learner, you will drink that particular stuff, and think that my COVID is gone. So something like that. So that is another stupid way of learning during pandemic. The third one is semi-supervised, which I feel is the best way of learning during this particular COVID-19 phase. You are reading the guidelines, at the same time you are using your this app, your biological app, not mobile app, biological app. Analyze it, try to see that what is implementable in your life, and you're taking action accordingly. For example, hygiene, then diet, balanced diet, then little workout, then how to cope up stress being at home, how to look after your parents, how to look after your kids, uh, also balancing time between work and your family life. So this is semi-supervised, and I'm very sure about 35 to 50% of the people, we are practicing that only. The last one is unsupervised learning. What is unsupervised learning? Forget about us. Think about the daily wagers, daily laborers, like house helps, uh, the sellers, the fruit sellers, those kind of people, that who might not even gone to school, but they have to come out for earning. Unless they earn, they cannot eat or feed themselves, right? It's a very tricky situation. Still, what I feel around my neighborhood is that these guys are also learning. They are maintaining a certain time to sell their items. For example, from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock during the second lockdown period. The third lockdown period, 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And this fourth lockdown period, it's 7 o'clock till 7 o'clock in some areas. And in some areas, again, that is only for 2 hours, 4 hours, based on the color of that particular zone. So learning is happening. There is no doubt about it. Within the population, within us, there is no doubt. My question is that the authorities, the government, the officials, what would be their learning? I'm very sure they are learning as well. And that's why self dependency or independency or independent thoughts, independent decisions, uh, those are being spoken, talked about in this COVID 19 period by our Prime Minister. And I feel he's quite correct. We have to we have to take care of ourselves. In all my videos, I am telling that there is no point complaining others that why I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. You have to live your life. So that is more like a semi-supervised 80-20 learning. So the authorities, bodies, government, uh, you know, uh, they can always lay down a protocol, a plan, a norms, a practices for us, that is 20%. 80% task is ours. Wearing mask, washing hands, sanitizing hands for 20 to 30 seconds with 60 to 70% alcohol contained sanitizer. Not to go out frequently so that you don't get in contact with the virus. It's a contact virus. So it is not the role of the government or any body or WHO or ICMR. They can only lay down the do's and don'ts. Following and not following is on us. So in my video, again I am saying the message is very clear. Preparedness is number one for combating any such situations, any war-like situation. Am I prepared? If I am not prepared, then what should I have to convince myself that I am prepared? Number one. Number two, if I am prepared, then what I am learning? What was my learning and what is my learning? So that I can guide another person. As one person is able to infect another person, I'm very sure that person can guide also the other person how to stay safe and healthy. Education, degrees, marks, grades, schools, universities, they actually do not matter here. What matters here is your principal logic. So please use the logic, watch my videos, and all my videos are twined in that particular way so that you can always find a correlation and a flow of this COVID 19 journey. So, thank you very much again for watching my video, and please keep on subscribing, liking, and sharing it. Stay well, stay safe, take care. Bye bye.